Good morning, this is Debbie. Welcome to my home. Today I want to talk about how God cannot comfort a lie. That whatever we're going through for the day, that we need to tell God the truth. Sometimes our reality can be so difficult or so awful that we don't want to talk to God about it because we're ashamed or we're fearful, or maybe we'll think he won't understand, or we don't want to admit to ourselves that maybe we're weak in some area, or maybe we're sinning in some area. The thing of it is, the Bible talks all over the place about confessing our hearts to God, confessing the truth. God cannot work with a lie. For an example, last year when I went through such hardship and I was bitter and resentful and I was angry and I was fearful, I'll just be honest. So we're not supposed to have fear, but you know what? When it hits, I know who to give it to, because the scriptures teach that perfect love casts out fear. Well, that perfect love is Jesus Christ. And if I don't go to Jesus Christ and build a relationship with him, a relationship built on a lie fails. But a relationship built on truth succeeds. And God can do something like that. Like with the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman. Well, she was filthy to the Jews' eyes, and she was at the well to draw water, and Jesus was sitting there, and he strikes up a conversation with her. And he says that he's the living water, and that if you partake in him, you'll never thirst again. Well, you know, the woman could have lied to him. She could have tried to deceive him, but she did not. And he said to her, well, go get your husband and we'll talk to both of you. And the woman says, I have no husband. And Jesus said, you've spoken correctly, because you not only had 5 husbands, but the guy you're living with now is not your husband. So he was able to work with her. And when they were done with their conversation, she ran off and told everybody that he was a prophet, and that he told her everything that she had done. And so they came to believe, the whole town, that he was the Son of God because of it. But it started with the truth, with an ugly truth, but it started with the truth. So God can't help us if we don't go to him with our truth, with our reality. No matter how bad it is. God, I slipped up and slept with someone. God, that I shouldn't have, or not my spouse. Or God, I had maybe 3 drinks instead of 1 or 2. Come on, we can't lie to God. We got to go to him with the truth if we want to be blessed and helped. So lastly, in my reading today, the Holy Spirit took me to 1 Peter chapter 2, and I'd like to read this few verses to you. And it says, as you come to him, the living stone, which is Jesus Christ, rejected by humans, but chosen by God and precious to him, you also, like living stones, are being built into a spiritual house to be a holy priesthood, offering spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God. Well, then I said, well, God, okay, so you're building living stones in me, and I'm becoming this spiritual house. So what does that look like? What are some spiritual stones? So the Spirit took me over to 1 John chapter 3, and I'm going to just read to you a few notes that I jotted down. And here's 7 living stones that I'd like to share with you. The first one is actions and truth of Jesus Christ, our daily living sacrifice. Stone number 2, setting our hearts in his presence. Stone 3, confidence before God and receive from God. Well, how can I have confidence in God if I'm lying to him? How can I receive anything from God if what I'm telling him and sharing with him isn't based on truth? The 4th stone is keeping his commands. The 5th stone, do what's pleasing to him. Well, if I don't know what's pleasing to God, then I need to open the word and find out, and he will show me. 6th stone is belief and faith in Jesus Christ, and the 7th stone is loving one another. Well, if I'm trying to build a relationship with a friend and I do it based on a lie, then how is it ever going to build? It's not. So if you want to be a royal priesthood and you want to know and offer spiritual sacrifices to God, then go to him in truth and give him whatever your reality is for the day. Now, are you struggling with the sin? Are you being tempted? Is there something you've done and that keeps coming up that you have not confessed, and made right? No, God is a God not of words and deeds. He is a God of truth. He is a God of action and truth. That's what it says.